do you have to wait 12 months to sell or to buy or even to rent your property after you finance a property as a primary residence? You've probably heard that many times, and there's good reason for that, because generally that's what you're attesting to. When you finance a property as a primary residence, you're attesting that it's your intent. And that's the key there. It's your intent to occupy the property as a primary residence for a year. And you don't have to take my word for it. The actual verbiage in the deed of trust says occupancy. Borrower shall occupy, establish, and use property as borrower's principal residence within 60 days. So you have 60 days to get into the house after the execution of the security instrument, and shall continue to occupy the property as borrower's principal residence for at least 1 year after the date of occupancy. And then here's the crucial part. Unless lender otherwise agrees in writing, which consent shall not be unreasonably withheld. So there's one out. Or, it says, unless extenuating circumstances exist, which are beyond the borrower's control. And so you see, you don't even necessarily have to get the lender's written consent. And so how does this work out, in reality? Do you have to wait 12 months to sell? Do I have to wait 12 months to buy? Can I rent my property? So first of all, the answer to all three of those questions is the same, depending, and the real key, the real linchpin of it all is your intent genuine? And that has to be the case, otherwise it's loan fraud. Nobody wants to do that, right? So when you finance a property and you declare it's your intent to occupy as a primary residence, then it needs to be your intent. It doesn't mean you know for certainty, or it doesn't even mean that you can't have uncertainty about whether or not you're going to be in there for a full year or not. Those things are okay, but it has to be your genuine intent at the time. As long as those things are true, then yes, you can sell in less than 12 months. Yes, you can buy another in less than 12 months. And yes, you can even rent the property that you finance as a primary. But be careful here. And here's kind of where the distinctions exist with regard to these things. So do I have to wait 12 months to sell? If you're just going to sell the property and move on and rent somewhere else, or not buy somewhere else, that's probably your lowest risk threshold, because there's really nothing that's going to trigger the lender coming back to you. They're going to get paid off within 12 months, of course. And there's also the lowest opportunity for you to game the system that way, right? Because if you're buying and just selling, and you're not buying, you're not renting it out, nobody really believes you undertook that for some financial gain and we're going to sell it within 12 months. It hardly ever makes sense to sell a property that soon. And so if you're forced to do that, then clearly your intent, changed somewhere in the process. And so you're not very likely to run into any issues there. Now, what if you buy a property? That's when you may run into issues. If you buy another property, the reason that you may run into issues there is because that's going to trigger a notification in their system and said, hey, wait a minute, this person financed the property as a primary residence 6 months ago, and now he's saying he's doing it again, buying a new primary residence, less than a year. And so that's where your intent is crucial. And again, if it's true, underwriting questions are few. That's kind of my motto. If it's true, underwriting questions are few. So if you're telling the truth, just tell your story. Why did your intentions change, or why were your intentions not realized? And as long as you have a story that makes sense, and if it's true, it should make sense, then you'll be fine. You can go ahead and finance a new property. You'll have to write a letter of explanation explaining why that changed, and that's fine. And then do I have to wait 12 months to rent out the property that I'm departing? And this is probably one with the greatest risk. And the main reason for that is that's the one that is probably most commonly gamed and easiest to see the financial benefit of gaming the system, right? You finance a property as a primary, fully intending to rent it out, because you can put less down on a primary residence and you get cheaper money on a primary residence. And so that's what's called occupancy fraud. And so you never want to do that. But again, if you find yourself in a situation where your intentions change, circumstances change beyond your control, and that can be any number of things. It can be family situation. Oh, you have a baby, or you get married, or you get a job transfer. That's kind of the easiest one to document. But there are many, many different things that can change, that can cause you to need to change your intent with regard to the property. But if you are going to rent it out, you're going to retain the one that you financed as a primary, and you're going to rent it out, and then you go buy a new one. That's the one that you're most likely going to have to be very careful and just make sure that your explanations make sense. And, again, as long as they're true, they probably will, and you probably won't have a problem. Thanks so much.